Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Twilight of the Gods. This is our second episode, Heretic Spear, directed by J. Olivia and written by Caitlin Parrish, who did some work on stuff like Redline of CBS, CW's Supergirl series, Under the Dome, and Emily Owens, MD. So, I guess it's now time to see just what the heck is going on with our conflict at hand. So, you know the drill, start at the Netflix logo, and let the merriment begin. In 3, 2, 1, click.
Well, not
How much
much
merriment we got in the last episode, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, not much merriment for most people involved in the last episode.
Like, I guess on the one hand, at least the newlyweds both survived in some way, shape, or form.
I think they were the only ones to survive.
So, like I said in the last episode, the awkward thing about Thor is usually when we see him as a hero or champion of the gods and humans, we're usually seeing it from their perspectives. You don't often get a series where, you know, a species that's not human is the main focus. So in this case, yeah, Thor definitely looks like an asshole, and he acted like one too. Also, we had to pass through Aku's palace there. Wait, so we really are going off of the idea that Loki's an ice giant in
yes,
this one?
remember, that's a part of the original myth, Jova.
Oh. Oh, hey, Hell.
Oh,
Hey.
And before you ask, no, that's not Hela, that's just Hell.
well, that's her original name. Hela is just the label she was called in the Marvel comics.
I gotta say, the hosts for Hell are actually pretty polite.
So then I guess it was a change in the mythos of the Marvel version that Hela is Thor and Loki's sister as opposed to being Loki's daughter then.
Yes. She's played by Jamie Chung. Chung. Oh, she was Death in DC Showcase Death. Interesting. Oh god, one of her first roles was Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball Evolution. Thank god that did not kill her career.
Although, did she have to transition mostly to voice acting like Mark Hamill did?
Not from what I've seen. Let me see if I can find something else. Yeah, she was also in Sucker Punch in 2011, so she has experience with Zack Snyder.
I don't always associate Loki with being a Jotun because first and foremost, dude's a shapeshifter. Like,
Right,
dude seems to be whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
She's also Gogo Tamago's voice actress for Big Hero 6.
Huh.
So yeah, here's the deal. Sigrid is rightfully pissed at Thor, and Loki also wants to make sure that the Twilight of the Gods TM happened. So...
Oh, so this is kind of God of War female edition, isn't it?
I surely hope this was not entirely a plan orchestrated by Loki manipulating these people to his own advantage. I'm sure he's a nice, trustworthy guy.
Loki manipulating people? Okay, like I said in the last part. Hi! I'm fine.
Literally climbed her way out of hell.
You will not believe where I ended up.
Try me.
I mean, the fact that she looks like a Hellraiser, reconstructed person.
Now, honey, I know it sounds a little suspicious, but I need you to join me on my murder-mad quest for revenge, okay?
What are you wearing?
Technically nothing. I mean, okay, so let's start with the obvious problem here, girl. You're working with a god to defeat a god who just destroyed your family. Don't you think that's a little bit suspicious, especially with the timing?
Classic story of revenge. Yeah. He knows what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, like, look, okay, when it comes to Greek mythology, yes, Hades has been villainized, but when it comes to Norse mythology, nah, Loki was always that asshole. Sure, some gods have been made to look better than they were before, but no, trust me. There's no point in trying to
The
trust
entire
Loki.
idea of how Ragnarok begins is that Loki tricks Balder into pricking himself with some mistletoe, just for funsies.
Oh, Lord, she's too far gone. Oh, just 5 to fight against the
That's
gods, of
symbolic,
course.
because fingers of a hand.
Also, my dear, would it hurt you to at least, maybe dress more properly? You
No,
still have
it's
the blood
important.
all over you.
It's important, don't you see?
I will wear this blood as a sign of my shame and my fury. Or something.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you're totally gonna kill Thor, pretty much the champion of Norse mythology. Because, okay, yeah, whitewashing or not, Thor does tend to be, like, legit kind of the super duper main character of Norse mythology, whether he's tricked or not. Oh, yeah, that's right. We've gone, like, a few minutes without a sex scene.
All right, let me see who they got to play Egil. Rahul Kohli, British as well. Oh, it was an additional voice in the Aaron Lang movie this year. Good for him.
Whoa, oh, okay, it's a threesome.
Netflix production job. I remember Castlevania also made it kind of a point.
Although there it was much less pleasant. Oh dear.
Uh, oh, you piece of shit.
Uh,
Uh,
Shrug.
God damn it, Egil.
Oh, what's that he's got?
Rules.
Ah, so he's a sorcerer.
These were not
Uh,
the droids you were looking for. I mean, we kind of need a chronicler, I guess. Let me check who Sigrid's friend is played by instead.
So this cast is a combination of British, Dutch, Danish.
That's Hervor. In which case, she's played by Brigitte Hjord Sorensen, another Danish actress,
Yeah.
like you said.
Well, it wasn't. Did you say this was Norse mythology?
It's the closest that we
And
get. Jotun did manage to get
Denmark.
two people from Iceland for their voice actress. Oh, she was in one episode of Game of Thrones. Okay.
Somebody really detailed that statue effectively.
Yes. Oh dear.
Huh.
Um, an Yggdrasil made of intestines.
Wow,
Interesting
the tree
composition.
of death. That's what you're concerned about.
You know, aside from the fact that there might be a mad woman there who could tear us apart with her bare hands going off of what she did to those deers. Hello there.
I mean, that's one way of saying it.
Yeah, this definitely feels like a Zack Snyder production. Certainly swears like one, too.
You'll be really surprised, Drova, how in a lot of communities and groups swearing is much more casual than you think.
You know, that's true. I mean, look, even over here, we do have some that swear a lot. It's just normally, you know, there tends to be a cap on some of that stuff, but admittedly, also, it is also a case where some societies deal with certain curse words a lot easier.
This is why here in Europe, the whole Asbin Hotel is too swear word heavy. You know, critique really hasn't, taken as much off because we really do swear a lot.
I see she
Stop
smokes that
vaping.
dang kush.
I guess. Oh, goody, a seer. You know, Egg,
Yeah,
you
don't mind the
probably...
fact that he's bleeding out.
Yeah,
Holy
so
cow.
much to boot. Like, Egg, you probably need to tend that. Oh,
I'm
yeah,
surprised he
of
hasn't
course,
passed out.
Ravens. For the three people who don't know, ravens are usually Odin's spies, his eyes everywhere. Ultra, let me see. If they got Peter Stormare. Okay, well, they got him to play this guy.
And who's this woman supposed to be?
I'll check.
She sounds familiar.
The Saint Conan Witch, Jamie Clayton, American actress and model. Oh, she was Pinhead in the 2022 Hellraiser movie.
She was also in
Is that good?
Sense8.
Oh. Oh, so she's trans.
Yes, and they got a trans woman to play here.
You know, I'll give Zack Snyder credit. Dude is very crass, but he seems to be a guy who's on the level politically
That's
speaking.
the interesting thing about it. He will say very, very stupid shit in interviews that makes you think he's pandering to Republican crowd, but he has absolutely no problem in working, with the diverse crowds that you would think will just, make him lose his shit.
Yeah, that's the ironic thing. Zack Snyder's a proudly proclaimed Democrat, yet you'd have a lot of right-wing chuds who think that he's pandering to their base. Alright, so I guess our party is complete now.
Cue the Lord of the Rings, theme.
Well, technically, we ended up with 6 instead of 5, Sigrid. I will say this, I do notice that almost every, and I do mean almost every iteration of Norse mythology will more or less always culminate with Ragnarok in some sense,
That's
basically.
their end game equivalent to Drova. The idea is that it's inevitable, and it will signify a big end which may mark a new beginning. Odin is definitely afraid of that because he's afraid of what will come next, and because he doesn't know what will be. So he tries to do his damn hardest to prevent that, but basically the myth says that he ultimately will fail. It's also worth noting that with the progress of the first Christianization of the kingdoms during the Middle Ages, the myths were slightly revised with the idea that post Ragnarok, the Christian God and the Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit will arrive to supplant that. But that is kind of contentious as a thing, as you can imagine.
You gotta love iterations where Odin accidentally causes Ragnarok while
Yes,
trying to prevent it.
that's the kind of idea. The whole thing should start theoretically when Balder would be killed, so logically, he tries to force Balder to make a covenant with every single thing living and not on the planet, on Midgard, in order to not being able to harm him. Loki, because he's just that creative, makes sure that Mistletoe is not invited, so that will be his kryptonite.
Yeah. You really are banking on Loki, the god that I think even mortals were well aware he
How
was
cute, she
infamous for
said
playing
spider,
people.
and he calls spiders.
Uh, I like him. I might shapeshift into a woman and fuck him.
Remember, Trevor, even in Marvel Comics, Loki had absolutely no problem of, choosing a gender of his own appearance.
Yes, which now Marvel Rivals is reaping the benefits of quite widely. Funny thing is, Lady Loki is played by Maya Fey of all people.
But you're wrong.
Hey, if you can really do all this,
Thank
Loki,
you.
why don't you just help us get right to the end of our quest?
Trevor,
Because where would the fun be in that?
I know, right? Where's the fun in that? Alright, Svartalfheim, the home of the dwarves.
Isn't it convenient that everything is connected by waterway these days? It's like going through a Disney ride.
It's not too coincidental the way, dwarves are portrayed in this, because as you can imagine, a lot of dwarvish stereotypes about, loving to smith, potentially being crass and having Scottish accent, mostly can be traced back to Norse mythology. And, J.R. Tolkien consequently took a lot of inspiration from it to create his own mythos. Alright, let me check who Andvari is played by. Christopher Hivju, Norwegian.
I love how going off of the subtitles, they call it Hell,
Oh
even though technically
no!
Hell's the name of Loki's daughter and all
He
that.
was the security chief in the initial scenes of the spaceship in After Earth. Poor guy. he
That's
also
certainly a
he
role.
also portrayed Tormund Giantsbane more famously in Game of Thrones. It's one of the more recurring roles.
Of course, souls.
Yeah, when it comes to Friends of Fate, they mean literally. The Norse mythology does have an equivalent to the Greek fates, with the idea of these figures that literally weave into existence the string of each person's life.
I love how a good chunk of this show has been so far people telling her, girl, you're crazy,
Hey,
let's think
that's
about
the
this.
Heretic Spear, TM.
Okay. Hey, look, buddy, I literally tried to warn her from pulling the weapon out. She just didn't listen to me.
Yeah, again, responsible for her own action. That is a cool looking spear, bro.
Yeah. Shame it's probably going to bring misfortune. Oh yeah, let's just all casually take these weapons
Well,
with no fear of the
remember,
prize.
they're having. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's sad. Egil, you're not a fighter.
Nah, I'm good.
Remember, they're on a mission to kill a god. They kind of need to not be good people for it.
Hey, not only that, Tio, think about it. They got a mission given by Loki, so they're on a mission from God to kill God.
Again, that is sweet, kind of, that despite Sigrid asking him to see if he would be by her side, she still doesn't want him to act recklessly for her.
So, it does show that she
Hashtag
has some
relationship
sense.
goals.
I do dig that though, and I do like how she's not like, angry at him for like having doubts about the whole thing. Like even she realizes, yeah, I'm probably walking into something, but screw it, revenge.
Again, I like that so far this series portrays a loving couple in a very honest kind of manner, including them doing mistakes and, potentially doing crazy things. But you can definitely feel the bond that these two characters have. It feels very much genuine and less cookie-cutted like a lot of, other fictional media will do.
So I guess we've added a dwarf to our party now. Heh. Part of me wonders if they were thinking about calling this the Blood of Loki, but realized, oh wait, there's already a Blood of Zeus show. She really does not hesitate, holy cow. Hey, soul sister.
I guess they turned into Legion from Castlevania.
Is this what's going to happen in every episode? Sigrid gets dragged down somewhere.
And gets a new power-up.
Oh dear.
Is that what? Is that? Could you imagine if this is what happened in like Zelda or something? Every time Link gets a new power, he gets dragged down into the ground.
I do notice, though, her inability to cry. I wonder if this is kind of foreshadowing for her losing her own humanity in the quest for revenge. And God, imagine the bitter irony if she becomes a god
Alright, let me
herself.
check who they got to play Odin. That usually is one of the big roles. Oh, of course, it's John Noble.
Ah,
That it's
why am I not
for other
surprised?
reasons. I guess, Anthony Hopkins would have been too on the nose.
The funny thing is, Anthony Hopkins has apparently played Odin in more than just the MCU as well.
I mean, yeah, just because, okay, if he was still alive, Bob Hoskins would also be on the nose because he would have been Son of a Mask.
Oh, Lord. Though that would be such a weird reference to make.
I'd like to check in the meantime if Richard D. Grant ever played Odin at some point. Anyway.
So yeah, I will say these episodes seem to be flowing by quite well
That's
in the
the
pace,
Netflix
I
thing
guess.
for you. Remember, being also the Netflix, aggressive strategy of binging, these were all released during the same day, September 19, 2024, to watch in block rather than to be serialized like a traditional series.
Of course, yeah. They're definitely around that perfect length where someone could easily go, well, just one more.
Mm-hmm. I will also say that so far, at the very least, I appreciate that the French D series, while it does having exposition, relatively heavy dialogue, it's not doing the thing that we know about Netflix of being too obvious in explaining the plot for the people who only, listen to it while doing something else. That is something that I appreciate. That it seems that this series is trying to respect a bit more the audience. Of course, we're still early on, so I'm still in time to be proven wrong about Here's Hoping.
Yeah, I'll agree. And of course, Zack Snyder seems to handle representation well.
Alright, Liz, what did you think?
Well, I can appreciate that we're starting to get the ball rolling a lot more. Although, again, I'm like I said earlier, I'm wondering if, like in every episode, she's just going to get dragged down. They're going to run out. What she gets dragged into the ground, she gets dragged into the water. What next? Are they going to be? Are they going to be flying, and then she'll somehow get dragged down into the sky?
No. She'll get dragged up into the sky to put a twist on it.
Clearly.
Yeah,
But
and then she'll be like, "Why do I keep getting dragged everywhere?"
But yeah, no, like I said, it feels in some formats kind of like the pace of a video game when you think about it. Characters travel to a certain location, main character gets power up, boom, 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 lather, rinse, repeat until the final boss.
Alright then, I guess that leaves us to episode 3. You will gladden his ravens. Okay then, see ya.
Dialect there.
Bye.